Once upon a time, in a small town called Riverside, where everyone knew everyone's name, there lived a 17-year-old boy named Jake. On the surface, Jake was the kind of kid parents pointed to. Sharp mind, respectful, always had the right answer in class. But if you looked closer, if you really watched him, you'd see something nobody talked about. His hands trembled when he spoke. His eyes darted away when someone complimented him. And late at night, when the world went quiet, Jake would lie awake staring at the ceiling, trapped in a conversation with a voice that never stopped attacking him. If you've ever felt like your own mind is working against you, stay with me. And if you love stories that dig into the real battles we fight in silence, consider subscribing. This is where we talk about the things that actually matter. Jake's real enemy wasn't out there in Riverside. It was inside his head. Every morning started the same way. He'd wake up and immediately the thoughts would flood in. You're going to mess up today. They're going to find out you're not as smart as they think. You don't belong here. And the worst part? Jake started to believe it. So he built a system to survive. He lied. Not big lies at first, just small ones. He'd say he studied for hours when he barely looked at his notes. He'd agree with people even when he disagreed, just to avoid conflict. He'd smile and nod while inside he was screaming. The lies became his armor. But armor gets heavy, and Jake was starting to collapse under the weight. One evening, something strange happened. Jake's uncle Marcus came to visit from out of town. Marcus wasn't like the rest of the family. He lived a rough life, made mistakes, paid for them. But there was something calm about him now, something solid. After dinner, Marcus found Jake sitting alone on the porch, staring into nothing. He sat down without asking and said, "You look like a man at war with himself." Jake's heart nearly stopped. How did he know? Marcus continued, "Let me tell you something, kid. Your mind is like a radio. It picks up every signal, fear, doubt, anger, pain. And if you're not careful, you'll think the loudest station is the only one playing. But here's the secret." He leaned in. "You get to choose what you listen to. You're not the radio. You're the one holding the dial." Jake wanted to believe him, but he didn't know where to start. Then one Tuesday, something happened that cracked him wide open. His history teacher, Mrs. Brennan, caught him in a lie, a stupid one. Jake had said he turned in an essay he never wrote. In front of the class, Mrs. Brennan handed back everyone's papers except Jake's. Then he looked right at him and said, "See me after class." The shame was unbearable. But what Mrs. Brennan said after class changed everything. She didn't yell, she just asked one question. "Jake, why are you so afraid of being honest about where you actually are?" Jake's throat tightened. He couldn't answer. Mrs. Brennan nodded slowly. "You think lying protects you, but really it's killing the person you're supposed to become." That night, Jake couldn't sleep. But this time, it wasn't because of the attacking thoughts. It was because something deeper had woken up, a truth he'd been running from. He wasn't afraid of failing. He was afraid of being seen while failing. He was afraid that if people knew the real him, the one who struggled and doubted and didn't have all the answers, they'd walk away. But here's what hit him like lightning. The lies weren't protecting him. They were burying him. Every single one added another layer between who he was and who he could be. And in that moment, Jake made a decision that terrified him. He was going to stop. Not tomorrow, right then. The next morning, Jake did something he'd never done. He walked into Mrs. Brennan's class early and told the truth. He said he didn't write the essay. He said he'd been lying because he was scared. He said he didn't know how to ask for help. Mrs. Brennan listened. Then he said, "That took more courage than any essay ever could. Now let's figure out how to move forward." And just like that, the weight lifted. Not all of it, but enough to breathe. Jake realized something powerful in that moment. Honesty wasn't about being perfect. It was about being real. And the discipline to be real, even when every part of you wants to hide, that's where freedom lives. So Jake started building a new habit. Every time a lying thought came up, he paused.
he asked himself one question. What would happen if I just told the truth right now? Most of the time, nothing bad happened. In fact, something surprising happened instead. People respected him more. Not because he had it all together, but because he stopped pretending he did. His best friend told him, "Man, I like this version of you way better." A girl he liked started talking to him more because she said he felt real now. Even his parents noticed. His mom said, "You seem lighter." And he was, because he wasn't carrying all those lies anymore. Months passed. Riverside didn't change, but Jake did. He started controlling his thoughts instead of being controlled by them. When fear whispered, "You're not enough," he answered back, "Maybe not yet, but I'm working on it." When doubt said, "Everyone's better than you," he said, "So what? I'm not everyone. I'm me." He wasn't perfect. Some days the old voice won, but most days he chose the truth, and the truth made him sharper, stronger, free. By the end of the school year, Jake had become someone even he didn't recognize, not because his life was perfect, but because his mind was finally his own. Here's the lesson Jake learned in Riverside that most people spend their whole lives avoiding. Your thoughts are not your orders. They're just suggestions. Some of them are helpful. Most of them are lies dressed up as protection. But you have the power to choose which ones you believe. Discipline isn't about controlling everything around you. It's about controlling what you allow to control you. And honesty, real honesty with yourself and others, is the foundation of every strong life ever built. If this story stirred something in you, hit that subscribe button, because you're not here by accident. You're here because you're ready to take control, and I'm here to walk that road with you. If Jake's story hit home, show some love, hit the like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe, because we're building a community of people who refuse to be prisoners of their own minds. The thought you choose to believe right now will shape the person you become tomorrow. So stop letting the lies win. Take back your mind. Start today.